Phil and Will are back, and the Survivor offseason that we so successfully podcast all the way through is over. We finally have the cast of Season 32 of Survivor, which was shot and everything before Season 31. So these people have been waiting a long time to be revealed to the general public. And now we finally have the cast for Brains, Brawn, and Beauty, Survivor Season 32, Kaoh Rong. This was actually kind of shocking how likable and positive this cast was. I really, really liked a good majority of these people, and I don't really see any easy, annoying, just from like a first look, like annoying, stupid people
I have
that
a lot of those.
normally get out right away.
I have a lot of people like that, or not a lot, but people
Really?
that really I can tell are going to have not a good time. Welcome everybody back. Like you said, that was not the best off-season coverage, but I think the off-season between the odd season and now we're doing the even season, that off-season, it's so much shorter. We have Christmas break and New Year's right in the middle. I think we get a pass on that. I think the real off-season.
We were going to podcast tonight, too. We did say we had one all planned out. We were ready to go, and then this came out this morning.
Yeah, we were going to do like the top blindsides podcast. We had that one ready, but this is way more important, way more pressing. The off season between the even and the odd season, that's months and months and months. That's just hell. So I think we will definitely have a lot more kind of fun things. Probably the San Juan del Sur rewatch that we need to now do during that time. Well, let's get into this cast. I agree with you. I like the cast a lot. I was surprised because all we heard about the season was that it was kind of a mess, kind of a shit show, tons of medevacs. So at least the people are likable.
Yeah, and somebody had tweeted at us today and said what might actually help, it's Jimmy O'Connor. Very likable cast so far, and the fact that there is no hype for this season helps. And I kind of agree. I mean, there was no hype around these people. All we know about this season is there's medevacs, it's terrible conditions. It seems like everybody had a hard time. But this cast was great, and now I'm kind of worried that we're going to lose some people to medevacs, and it's going to be really, really disappointing.
Yeah, but we've already been set up for it, though. I mean,
True.
That's where you're really saying, and what Jimmy O'Connor's saying, that's the good thing. The problem now is we're over a month away from this thing. So if now we get the mindset, it's so, underplayed, so underhyped, that we start convincing ourselves it's going to be great, then we're kind of reversing the process and we're going to be too excited for it. So hopefully that doesn't happen. It probably will happen because we get so excited for every season of Survivor. But that could happen.
It's going to be hard to follow last season. I mean, it is. So, you got to give this one a chance here. So we'll see. We're not going to overhype it too much. I mean, it is following one of the best seasons in the history of the show. So we'll see.
Very, very true. Very true. Quick shout out to Angus. Angus sent us the logo that you see in our little, banners at the bottom. It's a Cambodia. It's probably hard to see, but it's a Cambodia style Phil and Will banner or logo. So thank you, Angus, for that. We're both using that. So we appreciate it. Let's get into Kaoh Rong here. And before we start talking any Kaoh Rong, we have to put the disclaimer out that Phil and I made a bet here. Not a bet. It will probably be some fantasy points. Whoever can say, what can Kaoh Rong the least amount of times, because it's such a easy pun. I mean, you can't say the name of the season without go wrong. It comes to your head immediately. And especially a season that we know so many things go wrong. We know the weather is terrible. The conditions are terrible. People are getting medevaced. Jeff says he lost brain cells from the season. Like, things are going to go wrong. So we're going to make a vow right now. We aren't going to use that pun. We just aren't.
I feel like you're going to be the one who's still going to use it, because I don't think I'm going to use it.
It's not even that you think of, it's just it's right there. You can't.
It's too easy. It is. As you call it, it's a slam dunk.
It is. It's a slam dunk.
Yeah.
It's a layup.
It's a slam dunk. No, you like saying slam dunk. Stick with the slam dunk. That's your thing. But also, disclaimer, if anybody gets a spoiler about anything here, do not tell us. Do not post it. Do not do anything. I know we're just getting started. We just got the cast. I know there's going to be some medevacs. I think one of them's pretty obvious. Maybe it's not obvious. Don't worry about what it is. But don't post spoilers here if you somehow get any. If you do, man, you're just a bad person.
Even medevacs count as spoilers. I don't know yet. I didn't watch that first preview that closely. I know it was, from what I remember at the finale of Cambodia, it was just cut after cut of Jeff saying, medical, medical, or we need a team, or you're pulling him from the game, like all this stuff. So I don't know yet. I don't want to know. Let's let it happen. Let's let it play out.
I agree. Now let's break down this cast. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
What do you want to start with? Brains, Brawn, Beauty? You want to go in that order? You want to go Beauty, Brawn, Brains? You want to go Brawn, Brawn, Brain, Beauty? Oh my God. What do you want to do?
Let's go Brains, just to keep it in the order, keep it everything straight. I'm very confused about some of these placements, like really confused. I think on the original Brains, Bronze versus Beauty, I was like, yeah, everybody makes sense. I mean, there were some questionable ones, like, Garrett being a Brains, but yeah, he was a poker player, so it makes sense. He could have gone on Braun. He could have gone on
Lindsay
Beauty.
was Brawn, even though she was a hairstylist, but she was still like probably one of the strongest women out there.
Exactly. So, I mean, that everything kind of fit. Here I'm seeing a lot of misplacements, like more than I'm kind of like 4 or 5. And I wrote them down when going through the cast. I'm like, wait a second, why are they on this tribe? I think we have a real estate agent on the
Brawn Tribe.
She's on the Brawn Tribe. We have a bartender on. I don't think maybe she. I don't know. We have someone who has Beauty. It's kind of a mess this way. We have the 51-year-old bald guy on the Beauty Tribe. That one's I don't know what's going on there. But let's start with Brains here. Who's for sure a Brain? Because I just looked at their videos and kind of placed them in my head. I haven't looked at the official thing yet.
The Brains Tribe is Aubree, Debbie, Elizabeth, Joe, Neil, and Peter. And my biggest one here is Joe. I get he's a former FBI agent, but if you look at this guy, he's 72 years old. He might be the biggest guy out there other than Scot Pollard. This guy is huge. And for him to be on the Brains Tribe, I get that he's smart. He 100% should be on the Brawn Tribe over Darnell, the postal worker. I'm sorry, but Darnell, the postal worker, has no business being on Brawn. Joe should be there. And you can move Darnell to Beauty, and you can move Ty to Brain. You're talking the 51-year-old bald guy. He could go over to Brains. You can move Darnell down to Beauty. Joe is huge.
But that's the problem. There aren't enough people or at least males for this Brains Tribe. You say move Ty there. Yeah, he's a gardener. You move Darnell there. He's a postal worker. They don't have, these – you kind of need to have a profession that screams Brains. I know we have the ice cream guy, but that's entrepreneur stuff. He went to Cornell, I think, so he's a smart guy. My biggest surprise here is that we have like the MIT blackjack player who got like a perfect score on her SATs. No. That is Liz. She's on there. Anna's the poker player. I'm getting my cards mixed up.
You're getting confused here.
Anna is the poker player, and she is on the Beauty Tribe. Like, that screams to me Brains, especially when we already had a poker player be placed on the Brains Tribe.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But once again, I don't know who you would really take off here. I guess you could probably take Aubree off, who's the social media marketer. Not really sure why she had to be put on this tribe. Liz has to be there. Debbie has to be there. I mean, Debbie, you could probably put to Braun. She looks like,
that's what I was thinking. Put Debbie, because if you're in the military, even if you're not like this ripped person, it's just a brawny type of lifestyle. The military. She diffuses bombs. I know she's a chemist, but when she kind of in the long preview, she was the one who listed all her professions. I think you could kind of squeeze her into Braun. I think you should put the poker player in Brain. That's not what they did. Let's just start though.
I want to start with Debbie, even though Aubree, I guess, comes first alphabetically here. But I want to start with Debbie just because of the swimsuit she's wearing. And there are a lot of really hot women on this season. And Debbie's swimsuit takes the cake. That's the best swimsuit that's ever been on this show. I am thoroughly impressed. I will take that swimsuit over a revealing swimsuit any day of the year. Good job with that. God, that's how you stand out, I guess.
Yeah, I like seeing it. Like, okay, there's a big tiger on the swimsuit. That's cool and all. But I wouldn't have that over one of the more revealing swimsuits just because you like it because it's the novelty of it. And you see it as she sticks around. And yeah, but, you see it once and you get it. The revealing stuff, you're not looking at the bathing suit. You're looking at everything else. So I would say, I mean, it's a cool bathing suit, but it's going to get old quickly. And this screams to me, coach. And who does she say in the survivor she's most like? She's most like Coach. And she says without a doubt or period or it's 100% or something. Which
she just said, yeah, Coach, period. Yeah.
Like, how can you say Coach as the person you're like if you think you can win this game?
I got no Coach vibes from her other than the fact that she wore that bathing suit because she actually did all the stuff she said she did. And maybe Coach did too, but that's never been proven. She was in the military. So I believe her when she says she did all this stuff. I believe her when she says she worked all these jobs. And I think she's actually a pretty well-spoken person, and she's 49 years old on this tribe. I think that works out well for her. This is an older tribe, especially by today's Survivor standards. And we saw this with last season. A lot of the returning players, obviously, they had aged. So last season was an older season. This season's pretty old, too. We don't have that many 20-year-olds. This tribe has a 72-year-old, a 49-year-old, a 38-year-old, and a 34-year-old. That's a little bit older by Survivor standards, and I think Debbie actually could fit in pretty well here. Seems like there's some real characters on this tribe.
Yeah, I don't like Debbie's chances. I think she's almost – when she has all these professions, all these jobs, I think that kind of turns you into a know-it-all. You think you can do everything. And for her to go out and say that she's Coach, I mean, that's someone that isn't going to win the game. It's like, did you watch Coach? He got to the finals and lost at Final Tribal Council. That's not someone – I mean, I don't know. For the big, character that Coach is, you can't relate yourself to Coach unless, you're a terrible player. But that's my problem with this chick. She seems really smart.
I don't think Coach was a terrible player, though. I mean, he starts off like wonky, but I don't think he was terrible in South Pacific. I mean, he really did get that alliance together. Sophie just played a better game, but Coach got it together. I guess. I don't think he's a bad player. Yeah, I don't think
he's not. I guess terrible is too harsh. I'm sorry, Coach fans. I am a fan of Coach too. What I'm saying is this chick seems so together, so with it, in the military, diffusing bombs, and then you're going to go and say Coach is the person you're most like when it seems like you got a really solid head on your shoulders. You're really smart. That's not really. I mean, I see Coach.
I like Debbie. It's good. We're disagreeing already on the first person here. I like her chances, and I said the age thing. But the other thing that I think kind of works in her favor is if she's military, you got a former FBI agent in Joe here. And then you got Peter, who's an ER doctor. Those are three like really smart people. And I know this is the Brawn Tribe, but they're three smart people. They're a little bit older. I have a feeling, and I don't know if we really want to get into who's like, going to go first here, but I have a feeling Aubree is the fish out of water in this tribe more so than Debbie. I actually think Debbie could find herself working pretty well with some of these older players. And I fear way more for somebody like Aubree here.
Right. When I talk about Debbie, I don't think Debbie's going to be first boot. I just don't see Debbie winning. I don't see Debbie winning this game. I don't see her kind of fully fitting in with everyone. Maybe, there's a couple older people. But if there's a tribe swap, I don't see her getting along with the Brawn or the Beatty people. Where she starts, though, I like what you're saying. It is an older tribe. She will have, a cushion there. She can kind of test out the waters with people her own age. Aubree, I do not get good vibes from Aubree at all. Social media manager, like that's not like a brainy job at all. I mean, that's kind of stuff that I do. It doesn't take many brains to get it done. The biggest vibe I get from her is Shireen. She reminds me of Shireen. Like almost. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is I think she's going to play it up too much, and I think that's going to be her downfall. That would work, I think, if she was on a different tribe with some of the younger people. Once again, this is an older tribe. And somebody like Joe's not going to want to sit there. I mean, she said she wanted to bring Crans with her, which I have no problem with. But somebody like Joe's going to be like, what is this girl doing on my island? What is she doing here? And maybe they butt heads, and maybe Joe goes first anyway. But I definitely see Aubree as being more of the obstructive force on this tribe, where it's just kind of like, oh, man, she's the reason we're not meshing. She mentioned Greg Buis. Greg Buis was great the first season, but since then, everybody who's tried to be kind of like Greg Buis has gone home because they start to piss people off because they're just taking things so unseriously.
Yeah, I think she's going to try a little too hard, and she seems to be quirky for the sake of being quirky and like cute and funny and different. I just don't get a very authentic vibe from her.
By the way, she also went to Brown, so that's why she's on the Brawn Tribe.
Okay. I mean, if she went to Brown and she's doing social media management and she's not, I don't know. I think she should be doing more with that degree. Full disclaimer here, too. We've seen, like a 2-minute clip of each person, read a questionnaire from each person. I mean, I think it's more fun if we just kind of say our honest first reaction opinions as opposed to us saying, oh, I really like this person, they can win. Because that's no fun if we go through the cast and be nice to everybody. I think we should be honest and just saying we don't know these people at all. They are TV show characters. This is reality television. It is going to be edited. We haven't seen an episode. So I think it's more fun that way to just say, look, I don't like this person. I don't know them, but this is my, at least from what I saw from
her.
this.
I want to fight her. I hate her so much. God, if there's one person I could fight, it would be Aubree from the Brawn Tribe. But no, I know what you're saying. And I wrote down, I only watched the 2-minute videos. I didn't do too much research today. I did a little bit, but not like crazy. But somebody like Aubree, as soon as I saw her, I was like trying way too hard. Way too hard. I thought Debbie, I didn't get the coach vibe from her. And until right now, when I'm looking at it and it says survivor contesting or most like coach period, I would have said Debbie actually has a pretty good chance here. Like I like Debbie.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the weird bathing suit. Okay, maybe that's kind of a funny little gag. And then you get to like coach period. And oh no. So yeah, Aubree, I'm not a fan of Aubree. She says she's most like Sophie or Cochran. I can see the Sophie thing a little bit. I think Cochran, it's like she is aspiring to be Cochran, wants to be that witty, wants to be that nerdy when she might not really be all that nerdy. I don't know. I don't know her that well. But I mean, we are about to just sit here and judge people from our homes and have them, just they can't reply.
They
can't
respond if they didn't want to know, right? If
Exactly.
they didn't want to know what Phil and Will's opinion were, they should not have applied.
Exactly. And that's what you're signing up for in reality TV. So I just wanted to get that out there that if we rip into people, it's like, it's kind of what they sign up for, and it makes it more interesting, this podcast.
Here's my biggest problem, though. This cast, I really had people – like I thought that there were going to be people that I wanted to rip into. Like, I mean, I think for Worlds Apart, we had people that we were just ripping apart. Here, I don't really have anybody that I'm like, oh, my God, they suck. Like, I really don't have that. To me, as soon as I saw Aubree, she said that was first boot. To me, that just screamed first boot. But other than her, there's nobody who I'm like, oh, my God, they are so screwed. I hate them. They annoy me. I think that – honestly, just to throw it out there, I know we're not even on this tribe yet, but the only other person that I was like, oh my God, they're not entertaining, or oh my God, I hope they don't last long or whatever, was Scott on the Brawn Tribe. I thought he was boring as hell. I don't want to jump too far, but I thought he was boring as hell. He's the only one that I was like, oh my God, what the hell is he doing here? Thank God he played basketball or he wouldn't be on the show. Yeah,
well, we'll get to everybody. And it's not even that you don't like a person. You might say, look, I don't think this person is going to be, they're not fit for Survivor. We've watched a ton of Survivor. We love the show. You can get pretty good vibes in 2 minutes whether they're going to be successful or not. Who should we go to next here?
I think we just finished out the girls. I'm just going down in alphabetical order here.
Okay.
The way it was, and it just happened that the girls were all in alphabetical order. We're ending on Liz, and I actually thought Liz was kind of funny. She's never going to be allowed to go back to Las Vegas ever again. If she ever goes back, she's going to get the shit kicked out of her. Because she was counting cards and just openly admitted that she was counting cards. So
counting cards isn't illegal.
Well, I mean, she's good. They're gonna be keeping an eye on her, and they find out that she's counting. Upon. What?
It's just looked down upon.
They can. I mean, come on, dude. It's like it's Vegas. I'm sure that they could do something. I've seen 21. I've seen the Kevin Spacey movie. Come on.
Yeah. This wasn't her. I mean, she went to MIT. I mean, that was MIT. They went to Vegas every other weekend. She said bringing down the house. I mean, I think this chick's too young to have been on that like team that the movie was based on.
Oh no, she wasn't on that one. I'm just saying.
But she did rake in. The team raked in $500,000. Like that's no chump change. I mean, she got it done. She's got 100% perfect score on her SATs. That's hard to do. I tried a couple times, didn't succeed. My problem with her, and this kind of happens with a lot of people doing this pregame stuff on Survivor, saying, I'm Mike Parvati. It's fun to be the villain. I can't wait to manipulate and all that stuff. And that's fine. I get it's Survivor and you're going to go out there and tell lies. But I feel like you don't want to head into the game like looking forward to that. I think it's one of those things. If I have to do it, I have to do it. But kind of be ready for anything. I think she's a little eager to be the mastermind. I do like her, though. I'm a fan of Liz. I was going to say before we started this, there are a ton of like really cool chicks in this cast, at least, that I find cool. Like,
yeah. In other words, Willie thinks these girls are hot.
They're hot, but they're also cool. Like she studied game theory at MIT, loves to gamble, and she put in parentheses for a profit. I like to
Yeah,
gamble.
dude.
I like to win gambling. So
I always lose, but I'd like to make a profit.
yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
fan of Liz. I just worry she might try a little too hard to be the villain.
Yeah, no, I kind of got that from Liz a little bit too. I think she has a good head, but it's the same thing. I mean, every girl says they want to be like Parvati, which is why it's kind of funny that here you get
Happens
Debbie
again
saying
this season.
Debbie's like, coach. Oh no, this one was ridiculous. I think everybody else said they were like Parvati, but I think that's just like the safe answer at this point. Because like anybody else, I mean, nobody else is really branching out that far to say anything. Like all these like old, whatever.
We got a Sean Rector in there.
We did get a Sean Rector. We also got an Eric Reichenbach from Neil, who we'll get to in a second, just because they both scoop ice cream, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, Liz, I think Liz could go either way though. I think either she's going to play way too hard and go home, or she's going to do really well and fit in well and actually be really likable. I liked her from her video. I thought she was really funny.
Yeah,
I actually wrote she's really funny next to her name.
Are we doing winner picks tonight?
Yeah, we might as well.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to sit on a little longer. I think Liz is.
Oh, she also said she was going to play like Littlefinger. She did mention Littlefinger. So by her mentioning Littlefinger, that moves her up in my book too, because Littlefinger's the best TV character ever. So she moves up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a fan. I was going to say, I think she might kind of be creeping into my winner pick here. We'll go through it, but I like Liz. I'm a fan.
Okay. Next is Joe. This is the 72-year-old. He's the second oldest contestant of all time, behind Rudy. Only Rudy was older.
I like Joe. I immediately got the Tom Westman vibe. He writes that in his bio that he's Tom Westman. FBI agent, that's awesome. Probably did more things than Philip did. I just think he's going to be too kind of much of a hero to win Survivor, pretty much. He's not.
Nobody's going to let him get to the end because he's too old. If he gets to the end, I think people are going to be scared that he's going to beat them just because he's 72 years old. The good thing for him is he doesn't have to fit in with the youth right away. He didn't end up on the beauty tribe. You know what I mean? So he didn't end up with like a bunch of like young 20s, 19-year-old. I mean, you got a 19-year-old in the season. He didn't have to do that. I think Joe's pretty cool. I think Joe could do well. I don't know though. Do you think that, I know we're hearing about medevacs. Do you think that somebody this old, no matter how good of shape they're in or anything like that, do you think that he just gets medevac? I mean, he's 72 years old. This has to take a toll on you.
Yeah, because there's so many medevacs, it's like, I mean, it really could be anybody. It just, it's because you see one, it's like an infection. I mean, those things, you could be in the best shape of your life. If you get a cut, you don't have any medicine out there, it gets infected and you're gone. I mean, there's something you can do. That happened with James's finger. That happened with Penner's leg, I think. I mean, it just happens. I can't really predict it. Look at James. He's like super fit dude. I don't think he gets medevac if I'm going to have to guess, but I just think, like you said, he's way too much of a threat. No one's going to want to sit next to him. And I just think he's going to get blindsided. He's not going to see – I mean, of course
I don't think he's going to play a strategic game very well.
Right.
I think that's a good point. He's not going to play it well.
And again, we have to remember this guy is an FBI agent. He can probably read the hell out of people, has all that super special agent training. But I think he's going to work hard at camp. He's going to, want to compete in challenges, kind of like someone like a Terry maybe. I know Tom won the game, but Tom I think was more, game minded. I don't see that in Joe yet. Could though. I would like to root for this guy.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, bringing up like that he doesn't he's going to be able to read people, but if you look at some of like the former poker players and stuff who have played this game, they haven't done very well, and I think that kind of comes into a little bit of arrogance. And I think somebody like Joe, he's going to work really hard. He's not going to be like Jean Robert. And I know he's not a poker player. I'm just saying, like, we're talking about reading people. He's going to come out here and he's going to think he can read people, but there's a difference between being able to read people and knowing when to make a move in Survivor. There's a big difference there. And right. I don't know if he's going to have the mentality or know when the right time to make one of these big moves really is. So I kind of fear for him a little bit. Maybe not early on, but definitely when stuff really starts getting wild, I don't think that he's going to be able to last to the end.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see him. I mean, I could see maybe making the merge, but I'm not giving him any really winner potential here. Let's move on to Neil. We kind of touched on him a little bit. He's the ice cream entrepreneur guy, went to Cornell. He seems like a really smart guy. My only problem, and again, this is just me sitting here judging off a 2-minute video, he just seems a little bit of a know-it-all, kind of like a little pompous.
Seems Max Dawson-y.
Yeah, just kind of like he feels like he's above everyone because he went on the Peace Corps, went exploring everywhere and put his life savings and worked hard and started a company and kind of thinks, you know what, I'm kind of on a higher level than everybody else. That's just first impressions, though. I mean, I do kind of like this guy. I think he's definitely a smart guy. I think he seems to be pretty good socially, besides, maybe a little bit of arrogance. He includes pretty much everyone in his who he's like. I mean, he gave Eric Reichenbach shout out. He includes Parvati too. I kind of wanted to count the Parvatis. I think we had like 7 or 8.
It was
Parvatis.
a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot. But I think with this guy is if he's got to actually get out there and talk to these people, because he is giving me a Max Dawson vibe where it's like, look at me, I've done all this stuff, I know all this stuff, I'm so good. But if he ostracizes himself like Max Dawson did, Neil's not going to make it to the merge. But if he can get out there and actually be like a normal guy, which he seems like in his video, it just seems like he's trying to play it up. But then again, they're also in these 2-minute videos, they're like, hey, tell me this about you. Tell me. So you're going to get these ridiculous statements from these people. So I think like with somebody like Neil, I kind of want to see him go a little bit further. He seems like he's just a normal guy who has done really well with what was given to him. He was able to start his own company. He was able to go out to the Peace Corps and do something with all of this. And it seems like he leads a pretty interesting life. So I'd like to see something from him. I just hope he's not super weird.
Yeah. I all these people I want to like. I want to have a cast of likable people. It makes the season much more enjoyable to watch. I mean, people that aren't really well liked aren't well edited, and that's kind of what Worlds Apart suffered from. We got down to the end. They really only built up Mike. Everyone else, like, yeah, we had Tyler in there, and not that he was unlikable, but he didn't kind of shine through. And so I want these people. I want to see the best, people that we can get out of the cast, but I do worry that he just is a little too Max Dawson-y, like you're saying.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the last one. This is Peter Barack Obama Baganestos or whatever his last name is. But before he even said that people say he looks like Obama, I was just like looking at him like, this is Barack Obama. Like, he looks 100% like Barack. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I actually like this guy a lot. I think he could win this game. I really think he could win this. He seems like a really down to – I think he can win. I really do.
I don't think he can win this game.
I think he can win. I think that he's the Jack Shepard of this season, man. I think he can win.
Yeah, Jack Shepard. I shouldn't say.
Don't spoil a loss, right?
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to do that. The Obama thing, as weird as it might sound, that might be his downfall.
Intimidate people?
Yeah, man, that guy is presidential. It's just subconscious. That's a threat, that stuff. Your brain is getting no food, no sleep. I mean, man, you might just think, man, I got to get rid of that guy. I also feel that he is a little soft. Like, he's just too nice. He's not cut out for this game. The person he put that he was most like, he put Pete from Survivor Philippines. I don't know if that should be just because his name's Peter, which would be not a very good way to answer that question. But I didn't get any Pete vibes at all. I mean, Pete was a straight-up villain. I don't see this guy being a villain. He is just he likes to be a doctor in public places so he can help people. It just doesn't sound like a Survivor winner.
I think he's going to be a nice mix of Pete. He's going to be right in the middle of what Pete was and what Mick was from Survivor Samoa. I think he's going to be right in the middle where he's a really good guy and people like him, but he's also going to have a little bit of a villainous edge to him. I think he does have a little bit of villain to him. He's sarcastic as hell. I mean, his line about the people are having a heart attack and you look like Obama, and it's I might look like the Grim Reaper and a little bit I mean, if he's actually ever said that to a person,
that was so rehearsed.
It better have been. It better. I like him. I think he's got a good personality, man. I think that he could definitely go for it.
Does. I don't think. I mean, he might. Honestly, I could see him maybe being a GOAT at the end. Honestly, if
he could fall into the category of Mick. I did say he was in the middle. He could. Fall
did you get?
It reminds me of Mick.
Did you get any Pete vibes from this guy before looking at his bio and then saying Pete? Because I got 0. So for you to say, I don't know. I see him. I think Mick is a very good comparison. I think that's.
But I think he's going to play the game harder than Mick. I think Mick was out there and just fell apart because he was also with the biggest villain of all time. I think it just took its toll on him. And he was also playing with a really good strategic player. And that, I think he was Mick just kind of fell to the side. I don't think that would happen with this guy.
Yeah, he also made this point about, as a doctor, you're, in school from the age of like 6 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that can't be good for a survivor. I mean, don't you need real life skills, like social skills and, fending for yourself in the wild, I guess, if that's the good term to use. I think he's kind of in his own little medical world bubble, and that he's going to come out to Survivor and it's going to kind of kick him in the ass.
I don't know, man. I think he's going to do all right. I think that he's going to have the mentality for doing something for a really long time because he's an ER doctor. I mean, he had to go through so much schooling. That's a hard mentality to have, man. And that's one of the hardest things getting out there on Survivor is, oh my God, I've been out here for 10 days. I still have 29 left. That's one of the biggest obstacles to overcome. And I think that he'll be able to overcome it. And I think because he wants to be the hero so much, at least like he wants to help people so much, I think that he's going to really try to like man up and just keep going. I don't think this is going to kick his ass at all. And I think he is going to be kind of social. I mean, he seemed like he was a really social guy.
Yeah. I mean, he could be. He could be. I'm just letting you know how I see it. I'm not a big fan. I mean, I would like the guy. I just don't think he's going to be a good Survivor player. Let's do a quick wrap up of this Brawn Tribe. We kind of agree most likely to be the first boot, going Aubree here. And then most likely to win, you might have a different pick. My pick is Liz.
I think my pick is actually Pete at the bottom there. I think we should do what we always do, where we just rank them from 1 to 6. Like we both come up with our own ranking. We do this every time. Just go down everybody in that tribe and just say, like, who's your 1, who's your 2, who's your 3, who's your 4, all the way down to 6. We both are going to have Aubree at 6, but I'm kind of curious to hear, other than Liz at 1, where do you put the other ones?
So let's see. I think, so the 1 and 6 are easy for me. I'd probably put Neil at 2, Debbie at 5, Peter at 4, and then who's 3? Who's left?
Joe.
And Joe. Yeah, that's perfect. That's how I would go.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have almost complete opposite here. I would have Peter at 1. I think I would have probably Debbie at 2 and then Liz at 3. And then I'm just saying here, from a standpoint of who can win the game, I would put Neil at 4 and Joe at 5, because I don't think Joe really has a chance to win here. He might not be the first person booted from this tribe, but I think that he definitely is more likely to go earlier on than somebody like Neil or Peter or Debbie. I just feel like he is. Maybe not so much Debbie, but I like Debbie for some reason from her video.
I just don't get good vibes from Debbie. I kind of see it. I don't even like – honestly, I don't like this tribe as a whole that much. I think they're not that strong physically. We've seen the kind of
every time.
Yeah. I don't feel good about this tribe. I like Liz. I mean, I have Neil as my number 2. I don't feel that good about Neil. I don't feel good about Joe just because he's too big of a threat. And then Debbie and Peter, yeah, maybe they can shine through. And then Aubree, I'm really down on. I'm not a fan of this tribe. I mean, not that they're not likable people. I'll say it again. This cast is very, very likable. I don't think this isn't like Spencer, Cass, and Tasha here. I don't think we're getting that out of this Brawn tribe. I think a lot of the players are going to be on the other 2 tribes.
I kind of agree. No, I kind of agree there. I think that you might get 1 or 2 people from here, but you're not going to get anything crazy. You're not going to get Malcolm and Denise. You're not going to get Spencer, Tasha, and Cass. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. You're probably going to get maybe 1 person can shine through, but I wouldn't be surprised. This is almost like the Scoopin' tribe. Not that they win everything, but that their storylines are kind of the least shown on the season. Although I still think Peter can win.
I think he can. I just don't. It's very unlikely. My money's on Liz if I had to pick on this tribe.
Okay, let's move on to Brawn.
One more thing before we get going.
Go ahead.
I didn't mention comments. I don't know if this will probably be a long podcast.
We're probably not going to read comments for this video.
Maybe we'll see. I don't want to say
a lot of so far everything that's coming on Twitter has been like who's your favorite on this tribe? What do you think about, like, so it's pretty much stuff we're answering anyway.
Right. I guess from here on out, if you're listening live, which there aren't that many of you, you know, if you want to comment, don't say, what do you think of this person? Because we're going to go through each person. So I don't know, maybe potential alliances. I guess, I don't know. We'll see what the
Maybe
comments
you just say
like.
who you like right now.
Yeah, or just tell us who you like. We can see, you know, kind of where our fans at least kind of are ranking these players. Brains.
You'd have to do it on the last video.
Yeah. Comment on the last video. Again, Google Hangouts is completely disabled live commenting for a reason unknown to me. No clue. Okay. So the Brawn Tribe. Let's start with Scot Pollard here. He reminds me of Joel from Fanster's Favorites. That was my just immediate vibe. Like, he's this big guy. He thinks it's all about being bad and mean. He just seems one-dimensional. Like, he is a basketball player. He won a championship, and like that is everything to him. You can't take it away from him. One of the 3 items he would bring to the island is his championship ring. I mean, a ring, just so we can look at it and say, that's what I accomplished. So I don't see this guy going far at all.
Yeah, I thought he was kind of boring. The way he was talking, he seems like he could be a nice guy, but he seemed boring. The thing with him, though, is, once again, you get this basketball player, and I think the Joel comparison is great. I didn't get that from him originally, but that's because Joel, other than his boot episode, I kind of forget about that guy, everything else. But Joel, here he comes in as this firefighter who thinks that he's going to be this badass and just walk all over everybody. And he gets blindsided by a chick and the old gay guy who didn't even want to be on the island. And now you get Scot Pollard who comes out here, and he's kind of got that same vibe where it's like, hey, I'm like going to be calm, cool, and I'm going to, you know, just screw people over and win this game. I mean, once again, he's got millions of dollars. Everybody knows he does. I don't think he wins. I don't think he gets very far. I think he's going to be kind of like Cliff, where he goes pre-merge.
Yeah, definitely getting Cliff vibes. He wrote in his section like who he's the most like. He said all the professional athletes because that's my profession. I mean, it just shows you he doesn't have like much of a personality. He's just looking at sports. Like, that's it. Mm-hmm. I remember him playing ball. I mean, he's a good ball player.
Oh, he was good. You don't play 11 years unless you're good.
Yeah, and he got the title one. I forget what year he got it. But yeah, good for him. At least he won that.
Play for the Pistons.
And the Pacers and the Celtics. It's good he won a championship in the NBA because he's not going to win Survivor. That would be a shocker.
Although, if you want to just go up the list here, you go to Kyle. Him and Kyle might hold the record here for most tattoos between 2 people on one tribe. This is insane. I mean, it's like the little brother that has like a full beard to Scott here with Kyle. They look like it's like awkward. Like, they're just kind of like big dudes, like not really muscular, just kind of like they got like the dad bods rocking. They're covered in tattoos. This could be like a mean pairing here.
Yeah, it could be. Kyle, Kyle is the
bounty hunter.
The bounty hunter. For some reason, I thought that was Jason.
His name's Kyle Jason.
Oh, his name's Kyle Jason. That's why.
Yeah.
2 first names gets me every time. I like
a man with 2 first names.
I like the bounty hunter guy. I really do. There's only one problem. I mean, I thought his video was great. You know, he told the story that he came into this town. They've been looking for this guy for 6 months, and he within 24 hours brings the guy in. I mean, that's
Wild West shit.
Yeah, that's top level bounty hunting. I mean, that takes some serious skill. My only problem is that he says he's like Russell Hantz, in that he pretty much says Russell Hantz should have won the game, and that he's going to start, stealing people's things earlier in the game. So this is not going to work for our boy Kyle Jason here.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work for him, but I think that on this tribe, you didn't like the Brains one. I think that you could end up getting to the point where like the Brains people kind of fall to the cracks. I feel like this Brawn Tribe is going to be the one that's focused on heavily early on because you have such big personalities here. But I also think that not many of them have a chance to win this game. This is probably the one tribe where I'm like, okay, I could see why that person's not going to win, why that person's not going to win. And I think Kyle could kind of do what Russell did, not win the game or, I know Russell didn't win, but not get to the end and all that stuff doing what Russell did. I'm saying I think that he could get like a good little group here and really just be like the master villain who works his way to the end and then loses. And I wouldn't be surprised if him and Scott actually do team up because they just seem like they both have a little bit of the same mentality here. Kind of arrogant and just they're out there to, make moves and do stuff.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. And now I'm looking at this tribe, and I kind of agree with you. I mean, we both said that we watched these videos. We really like this cast, and now I said the Brains Tribe I wasn't that high on, and now I'm looking at the Brawn Tribe. We look at kind of the three males here. We have Scott, who we just talked about. We have Kyle, who wants to play like Russell, which definitely isn't a good idea. And then the third male is Darnell, who, I mean, I don't know.
He's a toothpick. How is he on this? He is he's a spaghetti. His arms and he's so lanky, and he's a postal worker. How does he end up on this tribe? And I get he had to go through hard times in his past and stuff, but I don't get Braun vibes from this guy at all. It's him on the same tribe as Kyle and Scott. Seriously, look at that. Look at those three guys and tell me they belong on the Brawn Tribe together.
That's why I was so confused. I thought Caleb would be on because Caleb's jacked. I don't know why
you could put Darnell on the Beauty Tribe, which would totally make sense.
Yeah.
Because he's a good-looking guy. I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah, that's how I thought it was going to go. I mean, because when they release the cast videos, they don't have the tribe by the name. So I just go, Darnell, he's on the Beauty Tribe because he can't be anything else. He had a 2.0 in high school. And I know he's worked hard and he's, come out from the hole and everything. But, man, he just doesn't seem smart to me, Darnell. He really – I mean, I just didn't get – he just doesn't seem that with it. He's kind of spacey. I don't know.
He seems like he's going to be a kind of a fun guy. And here's you just said we were talking about how much we like this cast, and now we're kind of saying that we don't, we're not high on the Brains Tribe, we're not high on the Brawn Tribe. I'm not so much that I'm not high on it. I like all of them as characters. I think this is going to be an entertaining, character-driven season. We might just not have that many people who can win it at the end here. And Darnell is one of those guys. He seems like he's a fun guy. He seems like he's really likable. He graduated, it says, he graduated college with a 3.47 GPA, so he did something right. He obviously
he picked a good college, picked an easy college to go to.
He might have, but he still went to college.
I know. I'm giving him a hard.
But he's still able to go there. So I think that he's able to adapt. However, I did get, and this isn't just because he was from the projects, I got a Dreams vibe from him where he is so overly positive, but I don't know how self-aware he is. You know what I mean? And it might bite him in the ass by not being too self-aware further down the road here.
Yeah, and the way you keep talking, I'm getting Gabon vibes. I'm getting almost like someone's going to backwards their way into this victory that you don't really see coming. And Darnell, if he's likable and kind of just a pleasure to be around camp, he doesn't start any problems, cause trouble, then maybe someone like that wins. Someone like a Bob who wins Gabon just for working hard at camp and kind of being an overall well-liked dude.
Yeah.
That could very well happen this season, especially from all the things we've heard about, the medevacs and the craziness and Jeff losing brain cells. So that's a different way to look at it. Maybe I have to kind of rework that for my winner pick.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's almost like it seems like a lot of them were fans of the show coming into this. At least a lot of them have said they are. And it seems like a lot of these younger players, I think they really were fans of it. They all seem super excited about being there, and they don't seem confused about why they're there. I remember back in the first Brains Brawn Beauty, Alexis was a huge fan, but I don't think Morgan really knew why she was on the island. I don't think Jeffra really knew why she was on the island. All of these people, they're really into it, it seems like. They really want to be there. So I think Darnell, I think he can make it to the end, and maybe he does backwards his way into a victory. Maybe he does. Scott's not going to backwards his way into a victory. And if Kyle wins, he's going to win because he plays like Tony more than Russell Hantz. So they're going to play really hard. Darnell could backwards his way in, though, if everybody he's sitting there with is just so unlikable. It's ridiculous.
Right. Do you have anything else to say about these Brawn men?
No, it'll be fun ranking them, though. I love the picture. Do you have the picture of Kyle? It's on the Gordon Holmes website where he's got his hands crossed. He looks like he's it looks like a character Tom Hardy should play in a movie and just beat the crap out of somebody. He looks like he's ready to take someone's head off in this picture.
I mean, he's a bounty hunter. That's what he does.
I'm just saying, dude. It's a badass picture. I wouldn't mess with him. All right, let's go to. You want to go to Jennifer, the 38-year-old from Salt Lake City, Utah, who's a contractor, who says that one of her friends was on season 22 and told her that she had to apply. Now, I'm going to hope that she made an error and her friend was actually like on season 23 or 24 or something, or not even 24, 23 or 25.
23 or 24.
But,
That's not even.
But 22, man, that's my least favorite season. And I want to know, like, if you're going to come out and you play anything like any of your friends on season 22, man, I hope you go home early.
Yeah, I don't have a really problem with that. I mean,
when she said that, though, I was like, oh my God, I hate that season. No connections to season 22 ever again.
It just might be a bad omen. I mean, that's just a curse. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that it's just that.
No, I don't hate her as a person for this. I'm just saying, like, man, that's not the season you want to have friends on.
I don't know. Jennifer might be, and this might she's like the person I don't like the most out of this entire cast. For some reason, it seemed like every chick in her video said, "I'm a tomboy. I'm the outdoorsy girl. I hate girls. I hate girly girls." I mean, I think all the Brawn women said that. Even some of the beauties. I mean, it seemed like girls were just turning on each other already.
It's like the anti-feminist season of Survivor. It's pretty ridiculous how they were all saying it.
Well, it's not even anti-fat. Like, they can be feminist because they're being, their gender doesn't define them. They can be outdoorsy and be feminine at the same time. I guess that's not what they're trying to say, but I think that's what's more, what's coming across.
But they were all saying that they want, like, the women out. Like, it was weird.
It's true.
Sydney, especially, which we'll get to. I mean, she said she hates girls.
A lot. It was like 3 or 4 of them. But this Jennifer, she doesn't know her phrases and expressions very well. She says, "Semper Fi" means always be prepared. And that's not what it means. It means always have faith or always be loyal. One of my friends was like a huge Semper Fi Foundation guy. He held like events and stuff. So I went to a few of those. So she was wrong on that account. Always be prepared. That's Boy Scouts. So she got that mixed up. And then she says this thing about like having a net and that you shouldn't think of like your backup plan, or if you fall, having a net behind you. It should be a trampoline, because if you have a trampoline and you fall onto it and you bounce, you can bounce back up higher. But because of, I think,
law of physics, right?
Newton's second law, I think.
I don't know which one it is. I haven't taken a class like that.
I think it's any equal opposite force. I don't know. If you just drop something onto a trampoline, it's not going to bounce up higher than it was. And that's what she was suggesting. So I think she needs to work on her phrases. I don't know.
You know who she reminds me of? And I don't know if anybody else gets the vibes here. She reminds me of – no. This one's actually probably going to surprise you a little bit. She reminds me of Stephanie in Guatemala. I don't know why, but it seems like she's just going to be way too outspoken and, like, try to be so, like, oh, man, like, I'm a tomboy, I'm this, I'm that, and I feel like she's going to piss people off a lot.
Yeah, I
think she's like Stephanie Guatemala. Yeah.
At first when he said, I'm like, what? But then, I really see it. I think she said she's outspoken. She seems really lippy, like she's going to get on people's nerves. And it seems like she's really, really into herself. Like, she talked about how she's like the best at her job. She loves construction, gets along with the guys, doesn't put up with BS, all this stuff. And then she compares herself to Kim Spradlin. And it's like, I know when
that was an all-female alliance to the end.
Yeah. I mean, I know when you go through these things and you're going to be on the show, you want to say, I'm most like a winner, because you want to see yourself in that light as a winner. But to pick Kim Spradling, who I see no comparable qualities, and Kim is like one of the best players to ever play this game. I mean, like, if I were on the show and I had that question, I'd probably say like Fabio or something. I mean, yeah, he won, but he did it kind of differently. But all these people saying Boston Rob, JT, Kim, it's just like, give me a break.
You wish. Yeah, exactly.
You wish. Or it just seems like I don't see any similarities between Kim and Jennifer. Kim knows her phrases.
And here, I like how you're still dwelling on that. Here's the biggest problem with this tribe. And it's happened the other 2 times that they've broken up into 3. They did Brains, Brawn, and Beauty. And when they did the Worlds Apart, and it was white collar, blue collar, and no collar. The tribe that has these brawny people, which in Worlds Apart was the blue collar, and in Kaoh was the Brawn Tribe, they always have the most infighting. And I feel like this Jennifer character is playing up as the Lindsay from either season who's going to have a problem with somebody and is just going to end up on the wrong side of the numbers when push comes to shove. So that's what happened in Kaoh, and that's exactly what happened in Worlds Apart. just ends up on the wrong side of the numbers with these bigger guys. I know she says she wants to side with the guys, but I think she's going to be obnoxious to the guys. Like, not obnoxious, like, but I think she's going to, like, kind of rub the guys the wrong way a little bit, where they're going to be like, all right, Lindsay, like, chill with that. Like, so I don't like her chances too much.
Well, I think the guys are going to have the power in this tribe because it seems like every girl is going to say, I want to work with the guys. So, you know, the guys kind of have it made, at least before there's a tribe swap. Anything else more on Jennifer?
No, let's go to Sydney. Sydney was fun.
Sydney she's up high too for my winner pick. I really think I think it's going to be a female this season. I have a female vibe coming out from the winner here. I really like Sydney.
Jeff won't talk about it, right?
Exactly. Because it's so underhyped.
Forum points. Everybody likes me now.
That's it. Wait, what?
No, that's like what everybody always says. Like, anytime they go on a forum, it's like, oh, it's going to be a female winner. That's why Jeff won't say it's great every time.
It is true, though.
But everybody, like, claps and high fives and stuff. It turns into, like, an 80s montage of, like, people doing good stuff. Like, it's I don't know.
I mean, our last female winner was Natalie from San Juan del Sur, and, like, Jeff did not – I don't think – he didn't hype that season up at all.
It wasn't very good, though.
It wasn't.
I mean, before that it was Denise, and he really liked the Philippines. So
yeah, that's true. But we got a lot of.
I agree with you. I think we might get a female winner here. Biggest problem with Sydney. This is what always ends up happening, and I don't know if you thought about this. She's a bodybuilder. People like her who are so regimented in their diets and stuff, they go out there and their bodies shut down so much faster than everybody else's. It happened to Garrett and Cagayan. And I'm scared that it's going to happen to Sydney here. She seems great. Seems like she'd be a lot of fun to have go really far. I'd love to see her win. I'm just scared that by day 6, her body's going to be like, what the hell is going on? I need something. Because she's putting in all this work and stuff, but she's doing the protein shakes and doing, you know, she's doing everything to make sure every level in her body is perfect at all times. When her blood sugar gets low the first time, her body's going to be like, what the hell is going on here?
Man, you're bumming me out because I did not think about that. I think she's one of the most likable people on this cast, a bundle of fun. She was talking about playing with seashells or like lifting seashells. Or I mean, it was just, she seems like a really happy with it person. She also said she was a tomboy and that she doesn't really, you know, associate with girly girls.
She actually said, I hate girls. I hate crying.
She hates girls.
She hates girls.
Is there a chance that we have all these girls that hate girls that they actually end up liking girls because they all hate girls? Think about it.
You know, it might turn out that way because they all just remind each other of themselves.
And then they come out of the season loving girls.
Yeah. Everybody comes out.
Character arcs galore for that. We got to tell the editors.
Yeah.
I did not think about the whole food regimen thing. I mean, that might get to her. That's a very good observation. That's kind of a bummer because I really dig this chick. Jimmy O'Connor just tweeted at us, and it made me think of this because he mentioned it. She says she has alter egos, Rebecca and Storm, and she had to create them because as long as she's not doing it, she took a psychology class, and as long as you're not doing it, you don't feel guilty, which I think she is so fun. I think that's great. I think that's really funny. Oh, man. I hope Sydney doesn't fall apart here. Yeah, me too. Let's move on to Alisha. Somehow she's on the Brawn Tribe. She's a real estate agent. She says she's a free spirit and a tomboy. So here we go again.
Here we go. And an adrenaline junkie. So
yeah. She's on skydiving, bungee jumping, like hand gliding, all that stuff. She seems very, very lippy to me. Like she's got a mouth. She's going to tell people off. I mean, people say it all the time in these pre-videos that, look, I'm going to be mean to the confessionals but nice on the outside. It's like, okay, give it a week of no food, no sleep with people 24/7. Then let's see how you go. I'm not saying I could do any better, but man, I think a lot of these, I think this whole tribe is just going to be a big kind of argument fest week after week.
Here's what I see happening, and I thought Alisha was kind of cool. She surprised me. I saw a real estate agent on this tribe, young blonde. Oh, God, here we go. She's going to suck. She's going to be boring. She actually was not boring at all to me. I really liked her. Problem with Alisha is they're going to walk out onto this beach, and Scott and Kyle are going to be like, let's build this shelter. And Sydney's going to be like, yeah, let's build this shelter. Let's go. This is going to be great. And Alicia's going to roll her eyes and be like, what the hell is going on here? And she's going to end up being the first boot because, one, she's the smallest. And like you said, she's going to be lippy. I feel like she's not going to be able to hold it back. And on this tribe, I'm telling you, this is going to be an explosion on this tribe. They're going to be nutcases on this tribe. It's going to be a lot of fun, but I've seen that storyline so many times in Survivor. The young girl who really doesn't fit on the tribe rolls her eyes, and she's booted 2 days later.
Yeah, and even if she works hard and contributes, let's just saying what if here. That's a phrase I wasn't supposed to use. She hates that phrase because that means you have regrets. She hates that phrase, what if. I didn't mean to do that. Let's say she works really hard. I still don't see her fitting in very well because she doesn't have that Brawn vibe, doesn't have that Brawn look. Sure, you can be into adrenaline. That doesn't mean you're Brawn. And I think the guys are really going to embrace. I mean, we see it all the time when they do these tribes divisions. People really, I mean, we saw, especially in Worlds Apart with the blue collar tribe, they were so proud of that. And even in Kaoh Rong, we saw the Brawn Tribe really kind of, like we're muscle men, building the shelter, winning challenges. I could see them really bonding. And she's like this beautiful blonde that really should be on the beauty tribe. I mean, she's a gorgeous woman and a real estate agent too. You could also throw in that's like her white collar side or her brain side. So for her to end up on this tribe, I think it's kind of a raw deal. She would have been in a lot better situation on a different tribe.
I'm just proud of you that you finally called one of them a woman instead of a chick. I'm very proud of you for that, Will. You've grown up in front of our eyes.
I mean, you don't want to use the same word over and over, so you got to kind of mix it up.
I'm just saying. All right, yeah, I mean, let's rank these. This one's going to be kind of interesting because this is one of those tribes where other than Scott – okay, before we do this, I think this tribe's going to come down to Darnell. I think Darnell is going to be the swing early on here. And my reason for thinking Darnell is going to be the swing here, if Darnell comes out here, based on like people who have also had similar backgrounds to him that played this game, they kind of they go in with the mindset of like, I just want to find somebody who like I can work with, and they kind of let that person take the leadership role. So it's really going to depend on who gets Darnell first and is like, yo, we're voting this way. And if he's like, okay, that's cool, good, I'm glad I'm here and I'm glad I fit in, then it's going to work out. But I think that whatever side gets Darnell first really is going to be the side that gets the power in this tribe. It's weird. I don't think Darnell is going to win, but I think that Darnell is going to put himself in a good position early on here. I don't know. He doesn't fit with the guys, and he really doesn't fit with the girls. He's in the middle.
Yeah, I kind of see this tribe going one of two ways. One, they're going to just implode because they all hate each other. And I think in that case, it's like a 5-1 vote. Then it's a 4-1 vote. Then it's a 3-1 vote. Like they're all just kind of turning to one person to blame everything on. I can really see that happening. Or I can see, hey, look who you have. You have a professional basketball player on your tribe. Huge dude. Then you have a bounty hunter. Then you have, I know he's kind of a lengthy postal worker, but I mean, he's on the Brawn Tribe. We see that these kind of the tribes do very well early on. I mean, even in Worlds Apart, that blue collar tribe didn't go to tribal council. They were the last tribe to go to tribal council. Mm-hmm. And then in, I think, in Kaoh Rong, the Brawn Tribe they won everything until the swap. So maybe this is one of those tribes that they just, I mean, you have Sydney, you have the two other fit chicks, or the fit woman, hey, maybe they just make a run. They take all the tribals until a swap.
They could, and we see that happen a lot in these 3 tribe seasons because you don't have to get first place; you just have to not get third, and that happens a lot in these seasons. And I really would not be surprised if they do win every challenge. And that's why they stick around. But at the same time, if they lose one, that's going to be the most fun one to watch, I feel like. I really want to see how these people act around each other. I mean, I don't know. I just think right now, Darnell is harmless. He's going to come across as harmless. People are going to look at him and be like, oh, we don't have to worry about Darnell. We can use him. But like he kept emphasizing, street smarts, street smarts, street smarts. And if he has as much street smarts as he says he does, I think that he really can go far in this game. And I think that this tribe, you could see something like the Fans tribe and Fans versus Favorites, where there's just a bunch of shifts in power over and over again, if we can get them to go to tribal a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see this tribe go to tribal. I'm now rethinking Scot Pollard. Maybe he will have a good amount of power on this tribe. just because I think there's going to be a lot of craziness going on around him. He's pretty calm. Like he seems like he's
I'm telling you.
right. Should we rank these players? It's going to be tough. I mean, I want to put Sydney in number 1. I'm not going to listen to your food theory. That can happen to anybody. I see what you're saying. It's a great observation, but I got to keep Sydney at 1 just because I think she's the most likable, and I don't know. I get good vibes from Sydney.
Okay. Does that mean you want me to say my number 1? Is that what you're trying to get at?
Sure.
Okay. You paused for like an hour and a half, so I figured that's what you meant. I'm actually gonna go Darnell because I just think that I don't know if he's gonna win, but I think in terms of who's gonna go the furthest on this tribe, I think it's him.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Maybe I could see him being a GOAT, honestly.
Yeah, he could.
So I'm gonna go Sydney number 1. I'm gonna go Scott number 2, just because now I'm rethinking about it. Not that I think he's gonna win the game, but man, I think he is a proven winner, and I know he's a little bit cocky with his whole basketball thing. Probably doesn't have the best social skills, but he can just be calm amongst these. Really, it seems like we have a lot of fiery, hot-headed people. I think he'll be okay. Then I'm gonna put Darnell. Then, man, if Alisha can get to a tribe swap, I think she'll be okay. So I got Alisha at 4. And then I'm going to put Jennifer at the bottom, and then our bounty hunter, Kyle Jason, the second coming, Russell Hance at 5.
See, I'm going to go Darnell at 1. I'm going to go Kyle at 2. I think Kyle.
You realize he's going to get out there and start stealing people's things like day 1.
Yeah, but I think
like
that
he's going to do that. He said he's going to do that.
He's going to go far, man. Whether he goes to the end and just sits there and has no chance of winning or not, I think he's going to go far. I'm putting Sydney at 3. I want it to be known that Sydney is my favorite player from this tribe, maybe my favorite player from this game. Or not player, because we haven't seen him do anything. But person-wise, I just seriously fear that somebody on that regimented of a diet falls apart. I mean, you see it happening all the time out there. These big people they go down faster. It just hits them harder. And she probably doesn't have an ounce of body fat on her. You know what I mean? So I really do worry for her. I'm going Alisha at 4 because I agree with you. If Alisha can hit a tribe swap, she can win the whole game. She just has to survive long enough. And if this tribe doesn't go to tribal, that benefits Alisha more than anybody else. I got Scott at 5 because I think that they keep him around at least for a little bit because he is so big. I mean, they do that shooting competition where you have to put the ball in the basket. Who is going to be able to tackle him? And then I go Jennifer at 6 as well. Don't get good vibes from Jennifer. I think she's just going to be too much for some of these other people.
Yeah. And the phrasing.
Yeah, that still bothers you, huh?
Yeah. So we are now 2/3 way through this cast. How long have we been going for? A little, like an hour?
No idea. No clue.
I think we're around an hour. Maybe a little more.
Yeah, probably around there.
All right.
Well,
we got
beauty now.
Yeah, we got one tribe left, the Beauty Tribe. And I think hopefully this tribe's good. I haven't really looked at them individually like this yet. I kind of looked at the whole cast and said, man, I really like these people. There's a lot of problems with, how they're going to play the game. Brains, like I said, not too high on. Brawn, not too high on. Is the winner going to be on the Beauty Tribe? Let's find out. Who do you want to start with?
Well, I'm like I said, I'm going alphabetical. Let's start with Anna. What do I have here? Huge fan. Might be good. Might be too fake. That was my biggest thing. Is she was playing up the poker player thing a lot. I'm sorry, I forgot her and Aubree's videos. I forgot who said what. I just remember Aubree being like kind of zany. But Anna was playing up so much that she was going to be able to deceive these people. She can read people. She can do all this stuff. She's going to be kind of fake. She's going to be like all these things. But I feel like people can always see through that. And when you're on a tribe with somebody who's played a reality TV show before, it's a disadvantage because they've already experienced it once. And I think that somebody like Anna is going to come out here and be like, oh, I can read people, I can do all this. And I think somebody like Caleb might see right through it because he's already done it before. When you've seen it before, if you've played another show, other than Natalie Anderson, you make it far. And Natalie Anderson just went home early. I mean, That was a weird season. But then Natalie wins. Nadia goes home first. Yeah, my bad.
Natalie ended up winning that thing.
Yeah, but Hayden goes on to get whatever place. I know he got voted out at 5 or something, but who knows what place that is in that season. But I don't know. I think Anna, I'm iffy on Anna. I'm not sure. Give me something.
See, I got more vibes, like you said, from Liz that because she's so into her like perfect SAT score, gambling, MIT thing. I got more, not even fake, but that she's kind of, she loves herself and she wants to like be that mastermind. She wants to be that villain because she knows she's smart. She knows she's capable. Anna, I was surprised that she was on the Beauty Tribe. I mean, she's attractive, but I mean, I thought she'd definitely be on the Brains Tribe. She said that she's not that trusting because her heart's been broken. I found that pretty interesting. She seems to be pretty sociable, in my opinion, just from watching it. I didn't get these fake vibes that you're getting. She says she's like Parvati.
It was because she was talking about doing those things. That's what did it for me. She actually said that she was going to try to do these things. And so many times people come in with these types of plans and it kind of screws them over because they try too hard to stick to their plan.
Yeah, maybe. I like Anna. I really do. She also says she's not a girly girl. So maybe we get a tribe swap here. We get all the not girly girls to be girly girls with the not girly girls. That could be fun. Yeah, she's a tomboy, I guess. I mean, poker is a pretty male-dominated scene, so I can definitely see that. The problem here is I'm just getting her confused with Liz at this point, just because one's poker, one's blackjack, and I don't know. I got good vibes from Anna.
One's 27, the other's 26. They're both really attractive. They both have black hair.
Yeah.
They both kind of have like similar faces. This is going to be a confusing little season here, man. A good thing they're not in the same tribe to start, so we can
maybe that's why.
A little bit. That might be why, man. They look, now that you're bringing this up, they look insanely similar. Like they really do.
And they have similar professions.
They do.
And they both said Parvati. They both said they like Parvati, who also has.
And they're both from New York.
There you go.
This is too much.
Okay, let's move on from Anna.
All right. Well, the next on the list is Caleb. I guess we can just go guy, girl, whatever. Caleb, he's the Big Brother guy.
Yep.
He's that guy. We don't watch Big Brother, so we have no idea. The only other Big Brother player to play was Hayden, and Hayden did really well and was really smart. What do you think about Caleb?
I just so much of from what he said was like, yeah, I played Big Brother. I got this nickname. I love to compete. Like he hasn't been a personal trainer or done any of his army stuff since Big Brother. Like he seems like he's a reality star, and it's just hard to judge someone like that pregame. Are they going to come in and kind of be a know-it-all? Are they going to play too hard? Or are they going to be a really, really strong player like Hayden, like Natalie? It's really hard to say. He seems pretty cool. I think he was a fan favorite in Big Brother. I mean, maybe we have some commenters who watch Big Brother tell us, is this guy capable for a Survivor? My thinking is that if he ended up winning, that Jeff would have – the season would be a lot more hyped just because he's a CBS star.
Hype. Yeah.
Exactly. So, he probably can win, but I don't know. I did not get much from Caleb other than that he was on Big Brother.
And I thought he was cool. Like I thought he seemed like he was fun. He seemed interesting. Not so much interesting, but he seemed like he had an interesting, he was going to be interesting on this show. Like he was going to be constantly doing things. He wasn't going to fall to the background. I just don't know where he actually sits in this game, if he can win or not. And I think that this show probably suits him better being an Army veteran. If, because it's actually out there and you actually have to live in the wilderness as opposed to Big Brother where you're living in a mansion. I don't know though. Another thing that we didn't point out, just talking about that first video, that preview that Survivor put up, 6 people got confessionals. And I don't know if maybe we should bring this up, not talk about really the medevac, but the 6 people who got confessionals were Debbie, Liz, Sydney, Scot Pollard, Caleb, and Ty, who we'll get to in a little bit. So Caleb did get, I know he was on another CBS show, but he did get a little bit of something there. But I'm kind of with you. I don't know where he is.
There's a reason why each of those players got it, right? So you have Caleb already. He's got a name, a face that, CBS fans, reality TV fans know and like. So that's obvious. You have Scot Pollard, basketball player that just gets sports fans, already has some fame attached to him. Debbie had that like insane confessional about working 100,000 jobs. So it's just a money confessional to have in a preview. If you want to go to Tai Tang or whatever, I mean, they're trying to make a second coming of Man. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that's kind of why he got casted, because he doesn't fit on any of these tribes at all. And I know they do the tribe kind of formats after they have the entire cast, but he just seems like you're kind of like Man. Man was one of the most popular people on the show. Let's bring you in, see if you can kind of recreate that. Because we see that
more. He reminds me of Cowboy.
He does. He does remind me of Cowboy.
More Cowboy than Man. That's what I got from him. Seemed to me like he was just going to kind of
probably has some natural healing, remedies.
Be a little too much. Gardening. I feel like that's what it's going to be. I think he's going to be a little too much. Man was able to. Everybody underestimates how good, or everybody forgets how good Man really was at this game because of his fans versus favorite season. He was gone so quickly. Man was a fantastic strategic player, and I feel like Ty is going to fall more into the Cowboy route, where it's like he's too much with I'm from Vietnam, and like he's whatever Cowboy did to that forehead. I forget whose forehead it was, but I feel like Ty is going to try to bring too much into it, and I don't know if people are going to go for it necessarily. I mean, I don't know how he's going to fit in completely here. We weren't even talking about him, but now we are.
No, well, yeah, let's do him right. Let's take care.
Let's do him right now.
Let's do it. He has bees. He like keeps bees, like colonies of bees, and likes to look at their social structures. Mm-hmm. That gives me weird vibes, because why don't you look at human social structures and be social, interact with? I mean, studying social structures of another species, especially bees, that screams to me like, man, I don't know if you're going to fit in for 39 days with like a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah.
He also seems like
worry for him.
He also seems like a sweetheart. Seems like a sweet dude. He's going to get burned. And then one last thing here. I mean, he did say Bob was the player he's most like, and I'm getting Gabon vibes very hard that this is going to kind of be a crazy season with swaps and randomness, and kind of, man, someone was going to walk their way to Final Tribal and be likable enough to get the votes. That could be Tai Tang. So with all that being said about him kind of maybe not fitting in, this is like the perfect type of guy who can win this season.
Yeah, and I just don't know. I'm not saying he's not going to fit in, but here you have this whole tribe. It's 5 white Americans. And now you get a gay Vietnamese gardener coming out here who is very loud, very opinionated. And I just feel like it's going to turn into a little bit of like what Cowboy did, where Cowboy was trying – he just didn't want to change who he was. And I actually liked Cowboy back in Cook Islands. But
he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he was who he was. And I feel like that's what's going to happen to Ty, but Cowboy also went home before the merge.
Right. Right. And if you look at – this is kind of a younger tribe too.
Mm-hmm. This is the youngest one. Yeah.
Right. So, and he's 51. If he can fit in, though, I mean, if he becomes like the paternal figure and he's, providing fish and, has all these nature skills and gardens and all this stuff, then, hey, maybe he waltzes down to the victory. Who knows? Let's move to, who do you want to go with here? Let's just finish off.
You want to go to? I kind of want to go to Julia, because this is who I want to know how Tai Trang is going to interact with Julia.
She is 18 years old. She is like the youngest you can be. Youngest Survivor contestant ever, I think.
I think she's younger than Natalie. I mean, it says she's 19 now, but in her video, she says she's 18. So she was 18 when the season started.
Right. She seems like pretty smart. I mean, she is like you could throw like, oh, she's a dumb blonde.
No,
but
she goes to BU, dude. That's not a very easy school to get into.
Yeah. Who is she like? She says
she said like Natalie Tenorelli. That was her first choice, and then I think she says Parvati. Yeah, but Natalie Tenorelli, because young female. She also says Jenna Maraska, so that means she knows who Jenna Maraska is, which is a good thing.
Yeah, no, she's a fan. She seems very. I get good vibes from Julia. I worry about the elements for her. If this is like one of the worst conditioned seasons ever in 32 seasons, man, being 18 years old and just coming straight out of high school to do this, that could be tough. That's a
wake-up call. That really is a wake-up call. So I kind of worry for her too. And like I was just saying, like we were talking about Ty, and now we're talking about 19-year-old Julia. How is she going to react to this Vietnamese gay gardener? Like, really, how is she going to react? And I don't know. Maybe they end up forming a relationship. But, I mean, you have to think, like, an 18-year-old college student who just came out of high school, their first reaction isn't to run up to Tai Trang and be like, you want to align with me. You know what I mean? So, like, it's really going to be interesting to see where Tai fits in here, where somebody as young as Julia fits in here, or if this just turns into the Caleb Anna, Michelle Nick show. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where – there's two outcasts on this tribe.
Let's jump to – I mean, anything more on young Julia?
No.
Let's jump to Michelle here. I know you're a fan because she's from Jersey.
Right by me, dude.
I got really good vibes from her the first time I watched her video. Then I read her bio, and then I watched it again. And now I'm thinking she's kind of a ditz. Like, she's kind of dreamy-eyed. Like, she's 24. She's a bartender. She, like, loves Harry Potter. I think she's a really passionate person, but I find that she might be a little naive in that I think she's a fan, but I don't think she understands, like, you know, all the intricacies of this game. And I don't know. I liked her at first. It's definitely fading for me.
I wonder what bar she works at in Freehold. Because if she works at a cool bar, like, there's some, like, pretty cool bars there. So I don't know.
Well, if she's not working there anymore, maybe she won.
Maybe she won. I don't know, but I'm not there right now. Anyway, I think that she is very, 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 like, bubbly. Like, she's just like, oh, look at me. Like, here I am. I love Harry Potter. I love this. I love that. I mean, she could be fun if she can last long enough. She could be, like, a really interesting character to see go far in this game. I like her. I mean, yeah, obviously she's from like right by me. That's why I had told you I originally liked her. But I think that she actually has a pretty good chance here. I think that she's kind of non-threatening, which is always good. And her pet peeve is overpriced alcohol.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
one of mine
good
too.
on her.
I just want to see, like, how smart she is, how game ready she is, because she seems likable enough. I just want to see, like, where her head's at. But man, you have Michelle. You have Anna, you have Liz, brown hair, dark brown hair, black hair,
Aubree.
like, attractive. But I mean, she has glasses. I'm just saying, three women that would look a lot alike.
Yeah.
So they could be
I don't know, but
the triplets. Call it now.
There you go, dude. Hashtag it. It'll be interesting to see where Michelle ends up going. She was one that I liked because she was from New Jersey. Other than that, I got that she was bubbly, and I really didn't get much else from her. Like you said, she kept talking about Harry Potter. I mean, I don't know. Like, that doesn't really tell me that much about you.
I mean, she is a kid.
Yeah, she seems like she's 15 years old.
Yeah, which doesn't mean that doesn't have to be a bad thing. I think you can be likable, and you can kind of be, you know, if you
Eric Reichenbach, he played the game like he was like a 15-year-old, a 14, like a high schooler. And he loved every second of it. And everybody loved him.
Yeah, looking up to Ozzy and all that. Lots of fun. I'm excited to see this tribe. I think Beauty Tribe is my favorite tribe, even though they have Nick, who seems like, I mean, we've had a lot of douchebags on the show. A lot. We have Drew Christie. We have Joaquin, ended up being, I mean, a stud. I really like Joaquin. We've had, I mean, just those are just recent ones. We've had countless throughout the years. This guy seems like he's up there at number one, I think, and I haven't seen the season yet.
I don't know if anybody will ever top Drew Christie, but he reminded me of Drew Christie so much. I'm a better listener than you. I'm better at this than you. I'm good at pretending. It's like, dude, I hope this is the first guy booted from the game. I hope this is the first person booted out of this game. He was really the only one I did not like. I kind of even liked Aubree, who I think will be the first boot, but I did not like this guy.
I could see this guy being a fun character. I mean, at least Drew too. Drew was dumb. I think this guy is smart. Like, he's smart. He knows it, and he tells you, and he's like a douche about it. I think Drew Christie was like kind of just whatever, bro. Like, he was like a douchey bro. This guy's like a douchey douche. Like, he is full on just like. I mean,
what a way to describe it. He's not a douchey bro. He's a douchey douche.
It's 100%. Like, at least Drew had a little bro in him. He just
He did have a little bro on him. Alex was there, man.
Of course, that's why I said that. My phrasing, I love phrasing. He just talked about why he's the best at everything and that he's the most manipulative. He's a life coach, man, and the way he described his job, he was like making fun of his clients. Like, you don't need a life coach; it's common sense. Like, how? I mean, you have. Let's see, you have Vince and Worlds Apart, who was a life coach, but he seemed like he really enjoyed his job. He really enjoyed helping people, even if it was maybe a little BS. He didn't know it was BS. He was really, committed to being a life coach. This guy's like, yeah, I'm a life coach, but like, I just tell people common sense. It's pretty stupid. They don't even need me. This guy is the ultimate top cream of the crop.
He's sitting here saying, I'm not going to tell anybody on this season that I'm a life coach. I'm going to say I'm a personal trainer because it's too hard to explain what a life coach is. Like, yeah, I'm sure it is, dude.
Yes.
Don't hurt our brains. Pull out the textbooks. Let's rage. My God.
No, I think he doesn't want to describe it because it's just utter BS. Like, it just is just completely, it's nothingness. It's like, I can help you be better at life. Like, that's it. He could go far. He could pull a Joaquin, turn around, be a cool, likable guy. Maybe this was just he was building it up for the promos and stuff so that he would get a lot of airtime. But man, this guy, I don't even want him to be the first bootleg. I think he's going to be fun to have on the show. I want to see him butt heads with like Scot Pollard.
True. The caveman. But he did say that the contestants he was most like are Courtney Yates and Penner. So, but he says he's much more socially intelligent. I don't think he realizes Courtney was very socially intelligent. She almost won the damn game against one of the best winners in show's history. So I think she was socially intelligent.
But it's cool that he was like a China and a Cook Islands guy.
Yeah. And like two of like my favorite players ever.
Right. I knew you would like that. That was like the one redeeming thing about him is that he didn't put like Boston Rob and JT.
Yeah, no, that's true. But he oh man, dude. There's just something about him. I think he is the general consensus least favorite player on this season right now. Him and Caleb, but I kind of give Caleb the benefit of the doubt just because he was on Big Brother, so people are coming in with like a preconceived notion of how he's going to play this. But it seems like Nick is really the one that people are like, damn, this guy sucks. Although Jimmy O'Connor says it's one of his favorites. Yeah, least favorite from the Hidden Idol show is Caleb and Nick. Emily says, am I the only one who thinks Nick reminds me of Spencer and Joaquin a little bit? So I guess that's kind of like – I guess that's not really a bad way to describe him, right? Spencer and Joaquin. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I could see that a little bit. But that's the Beauty Tribe. And I like this tribe. I do.
I think that this is going to be a really fun season. I hope these medevacs don't really ruin an otherwise great cast because one of my biggest downfalls from fans versus favorites is all of the medevacs that happen to great characters. You lose Penner so early in that season, and he had so much game left to play. When you lose James, yeah, his days were numbered, but it's still James. You don't want to see him go out that way. Let him get voted out of the game. You don't want to see him go out because his finger got a boo-boo. And then I remember Kathy, she went crazy, so they had to pull her from the game. That's 3 people who got pulled from the game. And if that happens again here, that's still one of the best seasons of the show, but it definitely hurts the season.
You could even throw a fair play in that. Like, he was kind of losing. He was probably, withdrawing from something. So could throw a medical, term in there. Let's rank.
I hope that doesn't happen here. Somebody did ask us if we think I don't know where it was, but it was like, who do you think will be the medevacs? Do you really want to get into that, or do you kind of want to just leave that for a little bit? Because the video kind of shows like a little much, and I don't know. I don't really want to dissect that video. I'd rather just watch.
Yeah, I don't want to dissect it because it could be a bunch of red herrings. Like, I know there's going to be medevacs, but they could have included shots. I mean, the way they edit it, they want to trick you. I don't want to go down that road. Let's let the mystery be. We didn't rank the Brawn or the Beauty Tribe. So let's do the Beauty Tribe ranking. We have some comments, not many. Maybe we'll just save them for our next. We're going to do,
let's see what they look like. We can look at them a little bit.
We're full of preseason mode now. We're going to be podcasting more frequently. So, let's wrap this Beauty Tribe up. My number one on this tribe, I'm going to go with Anna. I liked Anna. I know you got like fake vibes. I really didn't catch that drift from her.
Okay, go ahead.
See, I like going one by one.
Oh, you want me to go one? Okay, you want me to go my one? On this tribe, my one. God, dude, this is the hardest tribe to pick a number one, I think. Actually, the Brawn Tribe wasn't very easy either. I'm going to go Michelle because she's from New Jersey and because I'm looking at all the other names. And who am I going to put at number one? Nick, Caleb, Julia, who's 19, or Ty, who's 51? Like,
no.
I'm going Michelle.
I have Michelle at number 2. Then I have Julia at number 3. Like, I like the women on this tribe, on the beauty tribe.
I'm going to actually go Julia at 2 because I think that she can overcome the young age here. I think, like, Natalie Tenorelli did it, but she was also a GOAT. I think Julia could do it and also be a player.
Right. I could see it.
And then my 3, I'm going to go Caleb here.
Got to go Nick at the bottom.
Nick is definitely at the bottom. 100%.
Nick's at the bottom. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I have Caleb at 4, then Ty Tang at 5. That's me.
Yeah, and I would go Anna at 4, Ty at 5. So our bottoms are the same there with Ty and then Nick. I mean, I think Ty also could overcome.
He could,
and he could be great. He seems like a good dude.
Yeah, no, he seems like a great guy. I just don't like his chances. Like, everything I feel like is working against him.
The biggest problem is, and it always comes down on these seasons, you cannot hide anywhere. There's 6 people on each tribe. The first 3 tribal councils, you have nowhere to hide. You go and you said one thing wrong, or you just happen to be the 51-year-old Vietnamese guy, that might be a reason for them to vote you out. And on these seasons, there's nowhere to hide.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So
we do have 4 comments, 2 on our last video, or we have 3 comments. Let me just read them quickly. John Smith says, "Nice for you guys to be back. Hope Kaoh Rong is good. We hope so too."
What could go wrong? Sorry.
That might get me the fantasy win right there, because I'm not going to say it the rest of the season. You've now said it once, so it might be a 1-0 victory by me.
Yeah, I don't care. It was worth it.
We have Caleb. Any chance they bring the Tyler Perry Idol back? We'll have to get into that. Idol. We have the Super Idol announcement. I don't know. Most people, I don't know if our listeners are up on the Twist update, but there is a Super Idol. It's where you need 2 hidden immunity idols, the normal ones, put them together, and it forms a Tyler Perry Idol. I kind of dig it. I know we just did our Twist list and said the Tyler Perry Idol is one of the worst. This is kind of cool that you have to put 2 together. I don't think anyone's going to use it. I think it has an interesting element to the game. We'll see how it plays out, but we can talk about it.
We have to work together. Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely adds a new wrinkle. It's not just here's a free pass for getting voted off. So I kind of dig that. Then we have Aubree is a perfect mix of Shireen and Max. Seriously, very annoying in my opinion. I like Neil, Ty, Elizabeth, and Darnell. I kind of have to root for Kyle considering we share a name.
There you go.
That's a Kyle Stone.
Mel and Ashley right now keep saying how biased they are, that they love Peter from Minnesota because he's a med student from Minnesota, or a doctor from Minnesota, and they're both med students right now. So I like how people are going based on names and professions and where they're from in my case.
Well, then I'd have to be an Aubree fan because she's a social media manager.
Or you would have to be a Ty fan because he's from San Francisco.
But we also have Neil from Sausalito.
I don't know what that means, so I don't know.
That's like pretty much San Francisco.
Okay.
It's north, like the first town. It's right. The Golden Gate Bridge goes from San Francisco to Sausalito. Wow. Okay, that's our first season 32 Survivor Kaoh Rong podcast. I think I'm getting Gabon vibes, and Gabon is one of my very favorite seasons. I hope it's not a complete mess. I hope there's some kind of structure, and I hope it's not just like batshit crazy, really. I hope we can sit down after each episode and say, oh, this is why this happened. And it's not just, why did they vote that person off? It makes no sense. We've done that before with San Juan del Sur. We're like, why are you doing this? Not as fun as, Cambodia.
I mean, last season there was a little bit of randomness to it, but it was still a good time.
There were such good players, though. They would just there's reasons for every move made, which is way more fun to talk about, way more fun to watch. You have anything else, Phil?
No, I guess just keep a lookout, because we're going to be doing what? We're going to be doing our fantasy games pretty much from here on out, right? So anybody who hasn't followed us yet, I mean, hopefully we can get some new followers or new subscribers here from this video. If you know anybody who really likes Survivor, tell them, hey, these guys obviously give the best cast assessment. This is what you should do. But we're going to be doing from here on till the beginning of the season, like fantasy games. We'll do like we pick our own fantasy tribes. We do power rankings. We do boot list orders, all this stuff. We'll figure out something that can get the fans involved as well. So just keep an eye out for that. We'll try to do one every single week.
We still got to get buffs out to the 2 winners.
Yes.
We'll do that soon. See if we can get, which buffs they want. We'll have a buff up for grabs at some point. Yeah, please subscribe if you haven't. Throw the video a like if you would, and we will see you next time.